Now we need to understand a little bit more about SEO. As Dale mentioned, that's search engine optimization. And basically what we're looking at doing is, in search engine optimization, we're looking to optimize our website's presence in the search engine results page. So it's really about optimizing our placement and where we're coming up. And there's three main key areas that you kind of think about when you think about search engine optimization. There are the keywords, which are the actual phrases that people type into Google when looking for a particular product or service. Then there is what's considered on-page SEO, and that's everything that happens within your website. And then there's off-page SEO, which is everything that happens off your website. So the off-page SEO has to do with that popularity contest that I was talking about, and getting other people to talk about you on the web, and that will help your website starting to raise. And I'll go through each of those in just a little bit more detail. Starting off with the idea of keywords. Now, keywords play such a pivotal role in search engines and the way that Google actually works. Google actually revolutionized the industry when they came out with a search engine that just had a box right in the middle of your screen that was empty, and you had to tell Google what it was that you're looking for. Prior to that, a lot of the other search engines, they were more like directories. So you'd land on a page, and you can see Yahoo directory there that I've got a picture on, and you would drill down into the category you wanted. So you'd go, oh, okay, I'm looking for something to do with science. So you'd click science, and then you go, okay, I'm looking for animals. And you try and, in a directory style fashion, dig your way down to what you're looking for. Now, Google turned this on its head, and this pretty much changed the industry by saying, hang on, we're not going to try and jump to conclusions thinking about what it is that you're looking for. We're going to get you to enter the keyword phrase into the search box, and then we will serve up the best, most relevant result based on what it is that you typed in. So as you can see already, that's why keywords are so important to Google and the way that the web works today. So the first thing that we need to do is make sure that we understand keywords. And to understand keywords, you need to think about your prospect and think about your target market. Get in their mind and start to imagine what is it that they would be typing into Google just before they purchase your product or service, or what would they type in when they're looking for your product or service. That's step one when it comes to selecting great keywords, is getting very clear on what that person would be looking for. Because if you imagine keywords, they're a little bit like bait, and if you use the wrong bait, you'll catch the wrong fish. So it's very important that you make sure that we're using the right bait. And a good example of that would be this browsing versus buying phrase note that I've got there on the screen as the second bullet point. And it's this idea that there are two types of keyword phrases. Someone typing into Google something like video, it's a very broad search. Whereas someone typing Melbourne video production, they're a lot further along in this buying cycle because they know what they're looking for. Someone searching video, it might be, you know, some school kids doing some research on some homework, or it could be someone looking for movies or DVDs, or maybe they're looking for, you know, some old footage or something like that. It's so broad that video could mean anything. Whereas Melbourne video production, someone clearly has said, I'm looking for video production in Melbourne, and that's the phrase that they're typing. So you want to think in terms of what it is that your prospect would be looking for, and finding those keywords. And we'll talk about some of the tools that you can use to do that. What you need to be careful of, though, is it's not just about number one ranking. A lot of people think that if they were just number one ranking for a particular keyword phrase, they would be fine. But the fact of the matter is, who wants to rank number one for a keyword that no one's actually searching for? Or who wants to rank for a keyword when no one's actually buying anything? So it's really important to choose the right buying phrases, and you do that by getting in the mind of your prospect. Now, to try and select and find these keywords, there are a few different things that we can use. Now, this is something that Dale alluded to right at the start. We're seeing some significant changes recently in the search engines and the way that Google is giving data through to its users. Now, there has been a rise inside Google Analytics. If you use Google Analytics to monitor the stats on your website, a rise in the number of keywords that are blocked by Google, and it comes up as not provided. So typically in the past, we used to get a keyword referring, so we could find out which keywords people were using to find our website, and that information was freely available. Google then started saying, look, if someone's logged into their Google account, we now know who they are, and we don't want to give you that keyword because there's a little bit of a privacy issue there. Because we know the person and we know what they're searching, we think we should block that. So that's when the first inkling happened that Google started to block some of that keyword referring data. Now, in the last week, and this is hot off the press and extremely fresh content, it's this idea that they've come out and said, we are now blocking 100% of all of the keyword referring data through organic search. Now, I mean, this is really significant. It's Google effectively pushing people into AdWords because they still provide that keyword data. You can still find out what keywords people are using to find your website if you pay for it. But now they're actually blocking it if you're just using organic search. Now, there are a few other little workarounds and things like that, and there are other ways that we can find great keywords than just looking inside Google Analytics. And I've listed a couple of them here. Firstly, going to the source and getting Google to recommend keywords to you and keywords to use is one of the best things that you can do. So once you get clear on your target market and you start to think about what they might be searching for, you can type that into Google and then let Google predict what are some other keywords. So I've typed in there SEO Services Melbourne, and it's told me SEO Agency Melbourne and SEO Providers Melbourne. Now, there are some other keywords that I could potentially use and try and target my content around. Also, when you type in a search, right down the bottom of the search page, if you scroll all the way down, it'll say searches related to Melbourne SEO services or whatever the keyword phrase is that you typed into Google. And that, again, can give you other ideas. Now, a few of them are off the money there. You can see there Melbourne Football Club and family getaways. But a few of them, like SEO Company Melbourne and SEO Consultant Melbourne, they'd be great additional keywords to target. So step one is finding the right keyword, and then we basically assign one keyword to each piece of content on our website.